And this is just a little tongue-in-cheek. I'm sure Sean Baker's a great guy, but I thought this tweet was kind of funny. And I'm not super zen or anything, and I have my own problems, but I think this kind of stuff is a little bit of a red flag.
So, first and foremost, I had mentally convinced myself that this was like the cure-all to everything, and it's wonderful. And I mean, the Paleo Medicina group says, oh, it'll, help cure people with epilepsy and alopecia, and okay. It's so simple. You don't have to buy supplements. You just buy meat and you just eat meat, and wonderful. I really wanted it to work. I convinced myself that it was going to work. And I saw no results. So what happened was I'm going along and I'm reporting and I'm like, oh, I feel great. And I did, until I didn't. At some point, I think my minerals got depleted and I got dehydrated. And when I get dehydrated, I become very susceptible to seizures. And that's what happened on day 47 is, I think day 46, I could feel, I was like, I feel like I'm drinking and it's not going in me. And that freaked me out and I was worried about it. And then day 47, I had a seizure.
It increases the dependence on your own stress system, so the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenals. And that's evidenced by these Lagero paper in 2001 and Lager paper in 1991. I'll put them on the screen here. But basically, the counter-regulatory hormones, glucagon, adrenaline, cortisol, and growth hormone are released during hypoglycemia and under other stress conditions. And a zero-carb diet is basically a diet of chronic hypoglycemia. Your liver is going to be taxed with the not being able to store enough glycogen. You're going to be constantly breaking down protein via gluconeogenesis, which is mediated by things like lactic acid and cortisol. And I don't think it's what you want to be doing in the long term is relying on your adaptive systems to get you through the day.
So it's kind of hard to stick to the carnivore diet. In the past, I've noticed that I've had some reductions of inflammation from using probiotics. And in the past, I've also not done full carnivore diet. And whenever I've used probiotics in conjunction with eating more carbs, it's usually helped me reduce a lot of symptoms. And so the last few days, the last 3 or 4 days, I was 100% on the carnivore diet, and then I've just been feeling not very good in certain ways.
It might be good to get your cholesterol checked, and I think the thyroid function is a mirror image of the cholesterol, and I think the thyroid, the functioning of the thyroid is really the thing that helps us resist stress by taking in oxygen, turning it over in glucose and turning it over into carbon dioxide and ATP, and this carbon dioxide having this reciprocating effect of mitochondrial respiration. And the other part of that is the thyroid is helping turn over the cholesterol into pregnenolone, progesterone, and DHEA, which are sometimes called the youth-associated hormones that really profoundly protect us from stress. And so when the cholesterol just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing, that suggests that the thyroid is suppressed, or the person has gone hypometabolic and is turning over less and less cholesterol into these hormones. So again, just kind of tongue-in-cheek, but Frank Tufano has a cholesterol of 319, and then Tristan of Primal Edge, both seem like super cool dudes, has a cholesterol of 451. And so I know there's a style of thinking that the cholesterol level doesn't matter at all, but I really think it's a mirror image of the thyroid function.
Last night I decided, you know what, we need to switch things up and add in some more carbs, and so I ate some sweet potatoes and some other stuff, but then I made sure to take a probiotic before, because I've definitely noticed that the benefits that I'm feeling from eating the probiotics and the carbs in conjunction with each other is definitely more energy, definitely more of this alertness in my brain, which is like the opposite of feeling sedated, like I've mentioned before on the carnivore diet. And also just my mood feels better. My mood feels so much better after eating the probiotic and the carbs.